Thank you. Sally, thank you very much. And I have enormous respect for Sally Peterson. It's, you know, as she said, I've been around a long time. And most of that time, we had no Democrat in the governor's office. We went 30 years without having the Democrats control that office. But Sally and Tom Peterson stepped forward, pioneered the way, and now we have the governor's office. When they left office, they were even able to hand it off to Chet, and it's made a difference to our state. And so I thank Sally for her leadership, and I know all you do too. She's been terrific. And that we're really reaping the benefits, so thank you, Sally. I guess I'd start out today by quoting Harry Truman. We're going to win this election, and we're going to make the Republicans like it. But, you know, I was out at the Democrat convention out there in Denver last summer. I heard Al Gore. I always love hearing Al Gore. He said to everybody, "Have you had enough?" Well, if you're like me, I've had enough. I've had enough of this Republican administration for the last 7.5 years. I've had enough of them spending $10 billion a month in Iraq, money we could use right back here in the United States. I've had enough of them giving bailouts to everybody on Wall Street, insurance companies and banks, and nothing for the middle class. And I've had enough of this philosophy where what we need every time there's a problem is more tax cuts for the filthy rich amongst us. And I've also had enough of Joe the plumber. Yeah, this Joe the plumber, God, he's not a licensed plumber. He doesn't work full time. He's owes back taxes. They say he wants to run as a Republican in 2010. You know, this guy isn't Joe the plumber. He's Joe the scammer. But let me tell you, as Democrats, I listen to Harry Truman. If you want to live like a Republican, vote Democratic. And but you know, these have been tough times. And the last 2 months have been really tough, the stock market crashing. And I've had a lot of Iowans come up to me, and that, you know, I know they're really scared and concerned. They've lost confidence. They say, you know, gosh, Mike, should I even put money in the bank? I said, yeah, you should. You can trust the banks. And they said, what about this IPERS, you know? Is that going to be there? IPERS will be. But then they asked too about, what about my job? What about my house? Am I going to be able to stay in my house and keep my health care? And are we really going into a depression? Well, I don't really know the answer to those questions. And I know there's a lot of other smart people who say, you know, we may be going into a depression. And we, our country, the thing I can say is when we've been faced with these hard times before, a lost confidence, a crisis, we went through the Great Depression, America produced a great leader. And then it was Franklin Roosevelt. And after the crash, he said, you know, Americans, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. And Americans pulled together. And then we come to World War II, December 1941, the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. What a situation we were put in. And again, Franklin Roosevelt went to the public. He said, we have a rendezvous with destiny. He challenged Americans to come together and win this war and get us out of the Depression finally. And they did. Americans responded. And it enabled Tom Brokaw to write a book, The Greatest Generation. We find ourselves in this crisis of confidence today. I think all the financial experts will say the biggest problem we have, why the stock market won't rise, is there's no confidence out there. Banks won't lend to banks. People won't invest. No confidence. But we have a chance to deliver a great leader. And that great leader is Barack Obama. He can bring the confidence back. He can bring us together and turn this thing around. But it's not going to be easy. You know, we've seen the polls, and it looks like we're ahead. But we've been here before. In 2000, I thought Al Gore had it won. God, they took it from us. And 4 years ago, I thought John Kerry was going to win. And I think they took it from us again. You know, even the Sunday before. They showed Kerry had 8 points in the Des Moines Register's poll here in Iowa. And we lost Iowa. So what it shows is what you're doing here is so important. We've got to get every last vote out there and get them to the polls to make sure there's no election surprise. And if we do that, happy days are going to be here again. And we can do it. And I'm here to encourage you to do it. And thank you for doing it. And I'm cheering you on all the way. Thank you very, very much for what you've done. Now.